Somewhere up the road, a water main bursts. And here's the question for your garden irrigation system. Your hose pipe is lying with its end in a can of tomato feed. Which way does the water move now? Because it is moving. Today, backflow, how a garden hose runs backwards, what it drags in with it, and the law about your outside tap that nobody has ever told you. Every gardener I know carries the same quiet assumption. Water comes out of the tap, full stop. It arrives from the street, it leaves through the hose, and the traffic only ever runs one way, and most days that is true. Mains water in Britain commonly turns up at somewhere between 1 and 6 bar. That push is there all day, every day, shoving outward. Open the tap and water obliges. But that push is not a law of nature. It is just a difference in pressure, and water has no loyalty at all. It simply moves from wherever pressure is high to wherever pressure is low. Your kitchen tap works because the street is pushing harder than your kettle. The garden hose works because the main is pushing harder than the flower bed. Take away the push, even for a minute, and the slope flattens. And if the pressure at your end happens to be higher than the pressure in the street, the traffic turns round and drives the other way. Water that was on its way out becomes water on its way in. Engineers call it backflow. And the awkward part is what that water may have been sitting in just before it changed direction. That is the part this episode is really about. So let me run you through the incident properly, the way I would run through a near miss at the bus depot. Slow, step by step, no drama. It is a warm Saturday. You are filling a watering can that already has feed in the bottom, and the hose end is resting below the surface. The tap is on. You wander off to find the secateurs. Step 1. 2 streets over, a digger goes through the water main, or the fire brigade opens a hydrant. Either way, the pressure in the main collapses in seconds. Step 2. The push that was holding your water in place is gone. Your supply pipe, your house plumbing, and your hose pipe are suddenly the high-pressure end of the system. Step 3. The column of water in the hose starts to fall back, and it drags more water behind it. A siphon has started. Nothing is sucking, strictly speaking. Ordinary pressure is pushing water toward the new low point, and the low point is now the street. Step 4. The end of your hose is below the surface of that feed. So what follows the water back up the hose is not air, it is the feed. Step 5. That mixture travels backwards, up the hose, through the tap, and into the pipework. The same pipework that feeds your kitchen. 5 minutes later, the main is patched. The pressure returns and everything looks perfectly normal. Nothing looks wrong. That is the genuinely unsettling part. Backflow does not announce itself. It happens quietly in the odd few minutes when the system runs backwards and nobody is watching. Now do an honest audit of your own garden, because the question is never whether backflow can happen. It is what would travel if it did. Walk it with me. Where does your hose end actually spend its life? Mine has been found in a can of tomato feed more than once, I will admit that straight away. At my allotment, the old boys fill their water butts from the shared tap, and the hose end goes straight down into the green water at the bottom of the butt. Plenty of hoses spend the afternoon in a pond, topping it up around the fish. Some are left lying in the flower bed, in a puddle by the compost heap, in whatever the dog was interested in earlier, and some have a feeder bottle screwed on the end, full of concentrated fertilizer or weed killer, designed to mix into the flow. Every one of those is a substance you would not drink on purpose. Feed, pond water, pesticide, compost runoff. The pipe does not know the difference, and the water does not care whose garden it has been in. On a normal day, none of this matters. The flow only runs outward, and everything stays where it should. Backflow is the one situation where all of it is suddenly on the wrong side of your tap, which is exactly why the regulations exist. So here is the law you have never heard of. Britain has water fittings regulations, and they apply to every property connected to the mains, yours included. Most of it is plumbing detail, the sort of thing only your plumber needs to love, but one line lands squarely in the garden. An outside tap that feeds a hose pipe needs backflow protection, and the standard fitting for the job is called a double check valve. This is not an obscure opinion. The Royal Horticultural Society reminds gardeners about it in its own watering guidance. And in the trade, fittings are tested and approved under a scheme called WRACE, the Water Regulations Advisory Scheme. When a fitting carries that approval, it has been checked as safe to sit on a drinking water supply. Why has nobody told you? Because the rule normally travels through plumbers and merchants, not through garden centers. Fit an outside tap professionally these days, and the check valve should arrive as part of the job. Screw a cheap tap onto the wall yourself, or inherit one that has been there since before you were born, and the rule quietly misses you. Now, I am not going to pretend an inspector is coming round to check. I have never met one either, but that was never the point. The main in your street is shared. What backflow puts into it, everybody drinks. The law is just the polite way of saying so. The fix is almost insultingly simple. A check valve is a one-way street for water. Inside the little brass body, there is a disc held against a seat by a light spring. Flow arrives in the right direction. It pushes the disc off its seat, and traffic moves. Flow tries to come back the other way, and it presses the disc harder into the seat. The harder the reverse push, the tighter the seal. No batteries, no electronics, no opinions. I drive one-way systems for a living. The water version is better behaved, and nobody parks in it. So why a double check valve? Because springs are cheap and grit is everywhere. A single valve can be held open by a shred of leaf or a grain of sand at exactly the wrong moment. Two valves in series means the failure has to happen twice, in two places, at the same time. Belt and braces in brass. Look for the arrow stamped on the body. It marks the only direction water is allowed to travel, and it points away from the house. Sorting your own tap takes 4 moves. Find out whether your tap already has a check valve built in, and a modern professionally fitted one may well do. If you cannot tell, buy a RAS-approved double check valve. Screw it between the tap outlet and your hose connector. Then forget about it, which is the whole point of the thing. There is one more version of this trap, and it is the one catching people right now. Rainwater. Water butts are having a moment, and so are clever setups that top a butt up from the mains during a dry spell, or pull rainwater into the same pipework the mains uses. Every one of those junctions is called a cross connection. On one side, water you would happily make tea with. On the other, water that has run off a roof, through gutter sludge and bird droppings, and sat warm in the butt for a month. The only thing keeping them apart is pressure, and you now know exactly how much loyalty pressure has. Over on the gardening forums, when someone asks how everybody waters, the sensible answer keeps appearing. Top up your stored rainwater from the mains if you like, but put a check valve on that connection. A pressure drop in the street can pull the tank backwards into the drinking supply. Same physics, same fix. And if you have added a pump to your rainwater system, take the rule twice as seriously. A pump can shove harder than a struggling main, and it will happily shove in the wrong direction. Stored water and mains water can share a garden. They just never share a pipe without a one-way door between them. While you are down at the tap with a spanner, I will show you what else is on mine. After the double check valve comes my Johgee 4-zone timer. Brass threads, standard British tap fitting, about 2 minutes to screw on. It splits one tap 4 ways, so the greenhouse drip, the pots, and the lawn each run their own schedule while I am on shift. To be clear about what it is not. A timer is not backflow protection. Sort the check valve first, whatever you buy, and if you only water 2 or 3 pots, a 9-pound mechanical timer will do you fine. The 4 zones earn their keep on bigger, busier gardens. So what does that mean for your garden? 3 things, and they are all cheap. First, respect the physics. Water follows pressure, not habit, and 1 burst main can turn your hose pipe into a return route. Second, walk out and look at your tap. If there is no double check valve on it, fit 1 WRAS approved, arrow pointing away from the house. Fit it once and forget it, and it guards your kettle as much as anybody else's. Third, if rainwater and mains meet anywhere in your setup, give that junction a 1-way door too. Do those 3, and this is the last time you ever need to think about backflow, which is how safety should work. Next week, we stay at the tap, but read the other codes stamped on your kit, IP ratings. My timer is rated IP55, and most people read that as waterproof. It does not mean that. Those 2 digits each mean something specific, and neither of them promises the box will survive January outdoors. That is next time. If a bus driver worrying about your drinking water is your sort of thing, subscribe and bring a friend. Right, that is the route for today. See you on the next one.